All right, we are back with block number 17 for our Minecraft Mob head blanket. And block number 17 is the zombie. And it has to be probably the easiest block out of all of them. It's probably the block I should have started off first with because it is so easy. But the creeper was, to me, the most popular one because even me, being a non-player, I knew who Creeper was. So, we did the zombie this time. Or, we're doing the zombie this time. And I am using Premier Basics yarn for this project. It is a budget yarn. And it feels fairly decent for a budget yarn. I'm also using a 6mm crochet hook. And the graph that I am using that we came up with is an 8x8 graph, meaning that it is 8 stitches, 8 bobble stitches wide, and 8 rows high. There are only 3 colors in this block. I used sage green, black, and fern green for the border. So this one, like I said, it's really easy. There's very few color changes, and it probably should have been the first one. But anywho, I am using a 6mm crochet hook, but you should use whatever crochet hook is appropriate for the yarn that you are using and for your personal tension of how you crochet. If you're a tight crocheter, you go up a size and hook. If you're a loose crocheter, you go down a size and hook. You know, so it all depends on you as the individual crocheter. In this next segment coming up, it's going to show how to do all the stitches necessary to do this project. The chain stitch, single crochet in the back bump of your chain, and the 5 double crochet together bobble stitch, as well as color changes and the border. Now, if you have already seen this segment, feel free to skip ahead to 12 minutes or whatever it is to get to the end to find out what zombie looks like. If you have not done it before, or you are still unsure about how to do the stitch, never hurts to watch it. But if you've never done it before, you'll definitely want to watch this next segment, especially for the color changing and the bobble stitch. It's very important that your stitches line up like they are in a column. And I'll show you that when I show you the zombie. If they get off, you won't look like you're making pixel art with your crochet hook. Just saying. So we are going to go ahead and take a look at that now. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to want to do is make a slip knot. Each one of the graphs, you will chain 16 plus 1 for a turning chain, so a total of 17. You will then turn and do a single crochet into the back bump. In 16 of the chains, you're going to skip the first one. You will back bump single crochet all the way across till you reach the end of the row. And when you get there, you should have 16. Okay, so I have 16. It should look like this. Both sides look nice. Makes it easier for when you add the border. So for the first bobble row, you will chain 3. Turn your work. And we're going to do 4 double crochets, incomplete double crochets, into the same stitch that our chain stitch attaches to. So you yarn over, go through the stitch, pull your yarn through, and go through 2 loops, leaving 1 on your hook. You now have 2. Yarn over, go through that same stitch, pull your yarn through, go through 2 loops. You now have 3. So you can do that 2 more times. We now have 4. So we need one more. And that makes 4. Okay, so we have a total of 5 loops because of our chain 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you want to yarn over and pull through all 5 of those loops. And the very next stitch, you do a single crochet. That single crochet is what gives you the nice pop-out bobble. That makes our pixel or our bit. So each bobble stitch after the first one in every row, you do 5 double crochets together, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. I'm going to do that for a total of 5 times. So that was 3, 4, and 5. And we're going to yarn over, pull through all 6 loops. You had 6 on your hook because you had 1 loop remaining from the single crochet. Then you follow that up with a single crochet. And then repeat that for the next bobble. Yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. This is 3 and 4 and 5. See how we have 6 loops? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Yarn over and go through all 6 and follow that with a single crochet. And see how our pixels are popping out? Okay, so you will do that all the way to the end of the row. When you get to the end of the row, your very last stitch is a single crochet. And it should look like this with 8 bobbles. Yes, it's going to curl up at first. As your work moves along and it grows, it flattens itself back out. So for the next row, which is the beginning of row 2, we do a single crochet, turn our work, and then we're going to place a single crochet in each stitch. When you do above the bobble, make sure you're only getting those top 2. Don't work down into this. You're going to put a single crochet into the single crochet and a single crochet into the top of the bobble all the way across. And when you make it to the end, you should have a total of 16 single crochets. So it should look like this. A row of single crochet all the way across. Then you will, for your next bobble row, you will chain 3. Turn your work and do the 4 incomplete double crochets into the first stitch. The first stitch meaning the same stitch that your chain 3 is connected to. Pull through all 5 loops and follow up with a single crochet. So when you get to the part where you're going to do a color change, you want to do it in the single crochet. So pull your working yarn forward. Bring in your new color, leaving a nice tail so you can work it in. And you're going to complete that single crochet with the new color. And, pull it snug, not super tight, but pull it down snug. And we're going to work over top of those. So we do a bobble because our color change was in the single crochet. So that's 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yarn over, pull through them all, and a single crochet into the next stitch. Now this particular one has 2 of the black bobbles. So do the second one. It's 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yarn over, pull through all 6, go to do my single. Now I need to go back to my other color, and I carried it with me. I don't always carry it with me, but these are such a small surface that when I only have 1 or 2 blocks of one color, I will carry the color with me if that is what comes next. Okay, so I'm going to pull my black forward, bring up my other color, complete the stitch with that, and we're going to tighten it down. You know, just make it a little snug. And then we go right into the bobble stitch. Single crochet. Okay, so that looks nice and clean from the front side. Oh, I didn't bring my scissors with me. Okay, so I'm just going to let that fall forward there and move on to my next bobble. Okay, so depending on which pattern you're working on, you're starting to see it take shape. You will continue this process for all 8 rows, and then we will come back for the border. Okay, once you've completed your block, you want to put a border around it. Each of the blocks will have a border just to make them easier to sew together. So you're going to start wherever you would like. And some people like to start in corners, some people like to start on the actual edge of it itself. So you're going to single crochet into each stitch across the top. And each stitch across the bottom. When you get to the corner, it is a single crochet, chain 2, and single crochet into the same space, chain 2. We're going to work past the bobble and into the stitch where the bobble and the single crochet meet on the side. Sometimes it can be tough like that one was. Okay, chain 2, skip over the bobble and come into that single crochet. That one was a little easier. Chain 2, skip over the bobble, go into the single crochet. So that is how you handle both sides. And the corners are single crochet, chain 2, single crochet. Across the bottom and the top is just simply a single crochet into each stitch. The second round of the border is double crochet in each stitch across the top. Okay, the corner gets 5 double crochet. That's 2, 3, 4, and 5. When you come down the sides where you did the chain 2 gets 2 double crochets. And the single crochet gets 1 double crochet. So 2 double crochets into each chain 2 space and 1 double crochet into the single crochets. So you will work that all the way around, the top and bottom, 1 double crochet in each stitch, all 4 corners, 5 double crochets, and the bobble sides where the chain 2s are, 2 double crochets in the chain 2 space, 1 double crochet into the single crochet. And once you complete that second round, your block border is complete. So it's 1 round of the singles and chain 2s and 1 round of double crochets. And it looks pretty darn cool if you ask me. Okay, so that looks pretty simple. It's just a matter of keeping track of your stitches and making sure that they line up. So if you keep constantly looking, not constantly, but occasionally looking at the front side of your work, because when you do the bobble, you're working on the back side. So if you look at the front side of your work and make sure that they're lining up, then you'll know you haven't skipped a stitch or added a stitch or whatever. If they're not lining up, you need to frog that thing apart, just the row that you're on, and possibly the single crochet row below it. I've had that happen to me. Somehow I ended up with 17 stitches instead of 16, and it took me a few tries to, for it to dawn on me where I made my mistake. But hey, nobody's perfect. We all make mistakes. We just go back and fix it. That's all. And that's how we learn. We learn by our mistakes. So anyhow, the zombie, he is an undead mob. Hence the name zombie. But he's cute. Here is what the zombie looks like. He's so cute. Like I said, this one is probably the easiest one because there's so few color changes. I used the same green for his nose as I did for the border, which is the fern green. His face, because, I don't know, maybe I watch Walking Dead too much, but zombies aren't bright and colorful. So I used this muted green, which is sage green, the Premier Basics, and then black for his dead little eyes. He's adorable as far as zombies go. And this is what the back looks like. So there is definitely a difference in how they look. You'll never get them mixed up on what is the front or the back. So now you'd like to know where the graph is. So for the low price of a thumbs up on this video, you get to use my graph. And it's free, other than the cost of the thumbs up. And if you look down below in the description, you'll find the link for the graph. You will also find links for the other videos in this series. You can pick and choose which block you like or don't like and put your blanket together any way you wish to put your blanket together. You can use any colors you wish to use. My colors are just suggestions. The colors show on the chart. Some computer screens show them different, so when they're printed out, I was kind of a little surprised. I'm going, let me go back and look. So yeah, I adjust it as I go along and use what I have. Scrap Bin is a great resource for this project, let me tell you. So, like I said, you'll find the link for the graph down below in the description. And if you click on this box right over here, it will take you to the next block in this series.